Hi there. I just got back from the grocery store, and you may wonder, why is she going to tell us about the grocery store? Well, I'm going to tell you about the grocery store because of the fact that there was a really good lesson to be learned at the store I went to today, and I want to share it with you. I went in, and there was something I couldn't find, so there was a lady behind the counter. I asked her where I could find it. And she was absolutely delightful, kidding around and joking and saying that, she give me an answer, and it just was making a joke out of it and pointed me to exactly what I was looking for. And I was grateful for that. But what it did was it made me stop and think about how absolutely vital it is to people, especially older people, to be treated with such courtesy and humor. Humor is something that a lot of older people don't get to enjoy because most of the time we're just invisible, you know? People look at the white hair and they just pass right on by. But this young woman took the time to talk to me and kid with me. And so I got what I needed. And I went back down into the meat department, and the same thing happened. It was a young man asked me what I could do, what he could do for me, and it gave me what it was I needed, and just was delightful. And we were kidding around and laughing, and um, he continued to help me with something else after that. But I mean, just went out of his way to kind of express himself to me, to let me know that he saw me, that I was important to him, not just as a customer, but as a real person, not just another old lady walking past him. And so then it was time to check out. And I'm putting my groceries on the conveyor belt. This was a small, independently owned grocery store where they still have people to help you and they have people to check you out. And so I was making conversation with the young man behind the checkout stand. And again, he was just conversational, friendly. He didn't just talk to me because he had to, because it was part of his job. He talked to me because he was a really nice person. And so I just walked out of that store thinking, what has happened to our society as a whole, where we don't have that kind of interaction anymore, where not just older people are ignored, but people in general are ignored. And so I was reminded of a teaching that I saw. It was a TED Talk, available on YouTube for free, by a man named Harry Cohen, Cohen. And the name of his TED Talk is Heliotropic Leadership. Heliotropic is a word, helio meaning turning, and tropic meaning warmth. So heliotropic leadership is a leadership style that always turns to the warmth, turns to the kindness, turns to the gentle response and acknowledgement of the individual. And his teaching is probably one of the most powerful leadership trainings that and it's a 15-minute TED Talk, but let me tell you, it will change your perspective on how to treat people. And I thought to myself as I was coming out of the grocery store, I thought, I wonder if the guy at the top, the guy who does the training for his staff, I wonder if he knows it, because we know in industry that whatever happens at the head of an organization is what trickles down into the rest of the organization. So I'm thinking that the guy who owns this grocery store, or the manager who's responsible for hiring and training, I'm thinking that this guy's got his act together. I'm thinking he's a really nice man. And I'm thinking he acknowledges and appreciates his staff. And so the wisdom that I wanted to share with you today is, whenever you have an opportunity to be nice to somebody, be nice to somebody, because you never know what kind of a day they've had. I've had some really wonderfully good days, and I've had some really crappy days. And when I go someplace and someone is kind to me or gracious to me, I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate it. I feel valued when someone reaches out and does something kind for me. And so when I have an opportunity, I try my best to be kind to someone, to speak kindness into their lives, to speak encouragement into their lives, because I don't know what kind of day they've had either. And more importantly, I don't know what kind of day they're going to have tomorrow. And so what I want to share with you is that heliotropic philosophy of turning and being kind. You know, there was a scripture that says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that's a great philosophy. But you know, one of the reasons that the religious leaders hated Jesus so much was because their national idiom was, well, if somebody does something to you, do it back to them. And Jesus says, no, do to them what you'd like them to do to you. And heliotropics is the embodiment of that kind of love. It's the embodiment of that kind of compassion and caring. So I just wanted to share that with you. I just wanted to let you know that even a trip to the grocery store can mean something really important to somebody older, to somebody who's not feeling well, to somebody whose life is going great. A kind word never falls on deaf ears. A kind word is always absorbed into the soul and nourishes it. Thanks for listening.